All right, guys, welcome back to the Jorphany channel, and today we're going to talk about how to deal with jealousy and insecurity. You excited?
Yeah, I think it's a very popular topic because it's something that a lot of relationships struggle through. So we're just gonna kind of break down our take on it. So take it
So,
away.
just starting with an example, I have this friend that was in a relationship, and her significant other was jealous, right? So, the guy was jealous. And so, they were living here in California, in LA to be exact. And he had a lot of jealousy and insecurity issues. And he would always tell her, why don't we move to Florida? If we move to Florida, like, we won't have any issues because then you won't be around all the people that I don't like you hanging around with. And I remember telling her, I said, look, it's not like the problem exists in California and then it doesn't exist in Florida. This isn't an external issue, it's an internal issue. I said, you could move to Washington or Mars and he's still going to be jealous and insecure because it's something internal. And just like they say, you can't fix an internal issue with an external situation. So it's something that he personally needs to experience. Like, it could have been that either someone cheated on him or he cheated in a previous relationship. Maybe his parents, experienced infidelity, or he's been around it, or he had an abandonment issue. Whatever it was just something that he was not aware of. And the only way that he genuinely maybe thought he could fix it is by moving away. But really what we've learned through all the different types of trainings that we've done over the years is that it's actually an internal issue that you need to deal with so that you don't bring that baggage into your relationships.
Yeah, and it goes to also into giving your partner space as well and trust, because if that's not there, then it's not gonna flow. And I think above all, like if I want anything for him is for him to be happy. And if he wants to go hang out with his friends or do whatever, that's his happiness. Like, why am I gonna be here to be like, no, you can't do that, or I don't want you doing that? So it's a balance. It's a balance, and trust is a big factor in it. And again, like he said, that's an internal thing, either stemming from childhood or he's been hurt before or whatever it may be. Now that's baggage is kind of taken along to the relationship now and is affecting the present. And what else were
Yeah.
you saying? Yeah.
Yeah, the challenge is most people are not aware of the baggage they have, aka emotional traumas, because it's not something, it really should be something that we should be able to work through in high school before going into adulthood, because then we wouldn't create all this drama and ish that is really unnecessary. But again, like, who's going to teach us, right? We're not going to learn it in school. Our parents are not aware of it. So it's until you grow up and actually take initiative to either have a therapist or go to emotional intelligence courses. But it's something that you have to take upon yourself. If you've noticed that you have a struggle with like either anger, fear, anxiety, depression, jealousy, insecurities, whatever it is, do not try to suppress those emotions and throw them under the rug, because you're actually not learning from them. I believe that every emotion that you feel is actually teaching you something. If there's something that triggers you to get angry, you should really sit back and think to yourself, like, wow, that was so insignificant. Why did it trigger anger? Like, where does it come from? Where does it stem from? What happened that, created that emotional trigger? And then learn to work through it. You could seek guidance like therapists, or go to like emotional intelligence trainings where you could actually go back and heal those wounds so that you don't hurt somebody else. Because remember, only hurt people hurt people.
Yeah, and having all that on you and kind of just bringing it on, it just creates this toxic cycle. And it doesn't matter, you could change the person and it's going to be the same cycle. And maybe you're having that experience as of now. Like, every relationship seems to end the same way, and it's because that hasn't been addressed. And like he said, going and to seek help from a therapist, or maybe a coach,
A relationship
life
coach,
coach.
yeah.
Like, you need to get yourself right first before you start seeking anyone else, because at the end of the day, you're always going to try to seek happiness in other people when first you need to be whole here and able to be in a relationship that functions. Because if not, then you will always be dependent on the outside, like you said, like trying to fulfill that from the exterior. And then going back on the whole like jealousy thing, it's way too much stress, it's way too much energy, and just so much negativity to be after someone like that. My grandma always told us this. It was like, if your man's gonna cheat, he's gonna cheat whether you have him next to you or a million miles away. Like, he's gonna do what he's gonna do, regardless of you like hounding him down. So I mean, that's something that you might want to look at as well. So if you actually get to the root of the problem and really heal it and do work there, so that you become a better person and you're whole, and you come into a relationship whole, ready to give your best version of yourself into a relationship, then it's gonna flow so much better.
It's actually very true that you mentioned that, because a lot of people will say like, oh, I don't want, my girlfriend or my wife to work at this job because there's a lot of guys there. And the reality is, if she's a loyal person and she's committed to you, it doesn't matter if she works with a man, a woman, around a lot of people, or around no people, she's going to be committed. She's going to be loyal. You feel that insecurity, but that's really just the reflection of him and how he feels inside about trust and commitment. And it has nothing to do with her. So he's just, pushing his reflection and his perception on her of his own insecurities and jealousy. So you want to be aware of that. If you trust someone, you trust them unconditionally and regardless.
Yeah. So that's our take on that.
That's our take on that. By the way, guys, if there's anything else in regards to jealousy or insecurity in relationships, comment below. We want to hear what you have to say, or what was more profound from what we just mentioned, or if you think of one other insecurity or jealousy or issue that you find common in relationships. So comment below. Number 2, make sure you subscribe to our channel and hit the little bell so you can be notified every time we upload a new video.
Yep, and don't forget to follow us on our Instagram as well under Jorphany.
All right, guys. See you next time.
Bye.